Just starting out. How you doing? Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. Thank you all for being here. The early chatters are in. Please remember to like the video and to make sure that you are still subscribed. Thank you so much for your patience. I've been gone for a couple days, and obviously. I was just finishing up my record, which is now, and I will link it again. It's linked in the description box, I believe. I will link it in the description box. So if you want to listen to it or buy it, you can do so. Sandy, hello. Head Volmer. So yeah, I hope you all had a good Earth Day. I hope you spent your day doing enjoyable things. I mostly spent my day kind of dragging my butt around the house. I had very little sleep the night before. I was up late trying to do last minute adjustments to some music. And so I didn't really get a lot of sleep the night before. I just kind of chilled out yesterday. And I got some sleep. I'm feeling much better right now. So let's get into some things. I have a new entry from today. I'm going to read one today. Let's see if I can find it. That's not it. It's here somewhere. Hello. That's not it. This is it. Phones of countless millions who at the dawn of victory sat down to wait and in waiting died. And that's a quote from Unknown. It has been over 3 months since I last put anything up here. The stress of being a doomer got me down. Kevin of Black Bear News used the phrase doom fatigue, and I am going to steal it for this entry. There has been a lot of chatter on the various Facebook groups and blogs that deal with this issue about how close to the end we are. Or should we vote? Or should we do our taxes? Or is it time to hunker down and wait for the inevitable? As long as 2 years ago, there were people who had maxed out their credit cards and all their available resources and then sat down to wait. Now what? It is 2 years gone and you are destitute and, if anything, even more depressed and gloomy than you were 2 years ago. No way to live, if you ask me. The whole thing is kind of like a religion. Spend all your time hoping and praying for your reward, but do nothing in the interim to indicate that you are deserving of said reward. The doomers seem to spend a lot of time hoping, not for a reprieve, but for the things to get going. Or for the thing to get going, excuse me. The reward is the actual collapse. Once again, no way to live. We may not have much time, but there is no reason to slide down the rabbit hole. Every morning when I get up, I go out to the deck and welcome the new day. Is it the last day? Who knows? For me, at this point, it is more who cares. I will function as normally as I can. I will bring up the danger we are in as often as possible and then just go on with things. I have no argument with the people who decide to check out of the system. More power to them. But for the most of us, at least, until it gets over the top bad, we have to keep going. And then along came the virus. I had to come to grips with the near-term human extinction thing and was able to go about my life enjoying the sunshine years of the human species. I could go to a cafe and eat pastries and drink coffee and chat with normies. I could go to the gym and the library and the thrift shops and the parks and hang out with friends and go shopping and do laundry. And for the most part, other than the doom thing, it was an okay way to live. But now all that is gone. I have no problem, really, with staying in, as I am not all that fond of humans anyway. I spent a good deal of time by myself in the pre-pandemic world, so being by myself wasn't really a problem. Now, however, the choice has been taken away. It's like a little kid who doesn't really want to play with a toy until someone else wants it. I didn't honestly enjoy laundromats, but it was kind of on the schedule, so I went. I now actively dread them and have worn the same clothes for a while and washed things I need in the bathtub and hang them outside. Another thing that this virus has made clear is that humans are not, as I had erroneously assumed, inherently good or compassionate. This pandemic has, from what I've seen, turned out a passively stupid group into a group that wants to prove each and every day how much more stupid they can get. It is like someone saying, dude, if you thought I was stupid yesterday, wait until you see where I go today. I used to think that people were maybe ignorant of the facts or the truth or reality, which would imply that if only they had the facts of the truth or grasp of reality, that they would change. I now know that this is not the case. They are, in every sense of the word, not sure how many senses there are of the word stupid motherfuckers. In the words of the immortal Hank Hill, I don't have an anger problem. I have an idiot problem. Good stuff from Michael Campy, as always. Yeah, I think, well, there's like a meme or a quote going around. And that's it. That's the quote. You know, we all thought having access to information was going to make people smarter, and in fact, in many cases, has done the opposite. So it turns out that stupidity or being ignorant is oftentimes a choice. It is intentional, which doesn't say much for where human beings, hearts are at. Raza says, Kevin has a new record. Hope it's not criminal. I hope not either. I don't have a criminal record. Much to speak of. Yeah, my criminal record is pretty boring. Planet of the Humans. Oh, wait. I saw that. And who was it that put out something about Planet of the Humans? Is that Michael Moore? I'm going to have to check that out. I haven't watched it yet. I was too busy to watch it, but today I will. Scott Andrews says it's very good. Not too good for Bill McFibbin for mental health reasons. Sometimes you got to do it. Actually, you know what? I took a break, guys, for a couple days, right? I haven't been here. And it was actually kind of nice. I took a break from a lot of news, too. And it was, I checked in here and there, but it was kind of a nice little mental vacation. Oh, thanks, Rich. Rich Diana says, Kevin, you're a handsome ginger. Your face belongs on a package of paper towels. Well, one day, if I live right and work really hard, I too can be on the side of a package of paper towels. TCR Galaxy says it is an expose of how we are so fucked. Well, yeah, one of many. There are just so many articles and movies and studies and so many pieces of evidence defining and supporting the idea that we're going down the tubes. Brawny Bear News, indeed. Citizen 69, yes. Better than the side of a milk carton, indeed. Curl. Or a package of toilet paper, yes. Maybe it'll be called Doomer Wipes or Doom Wipes. There's got to be a better name than that. I'm sure somebody will come up with one. So let's move on to thank you, Contemplative Pragmatist. Thank you. I'm feeling good. I feel like, so if I may just briefly talk a little bit about this, I've had some serious life changes in the last 3 years. I went through and then a bunch of life shit happened, and And I've been doing this channel as well. So I just couldn't. Put this record out. And it was looking very doubtful for a long time. So anyways, I finally got myself to do it. I got out of my headspace and I got out of feeling bad about it, and I just decided to do it. So yes, I'm feeling very good. Give me one. So let's hide this for a second. So I had to open the door. My little fix for the Wi-Fi was working for a while. Now it seems to work, which is. But the fact that my Wi-Fi is completely like non-existent right now is so weird to me because I'm actually not that far away from it. I'm literally like a room or two away from my Wi-Fi. Like the distance is not that far. Maybe 15 feet or 20 feet. Maybe a little more. Maybe 20 or 25 feet. It's just not that far. So, yeah, it's a little weird. Thank you, Cindy Seeley. Yes, I'm glad I recorded it too. Thank you, Carol Hikes. I got it. You're into different stuff. That's cool. Yeah. It's all good. I appreciate it though. Your garage door is like a makeshift Faraday cage. Well, maybe so, but it actually really shouldn't be that wild. You know, and I'm this far away from figuring out the ultimate fix, but I will shortly. Broadcasting weirdness in the neighborhood. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like I do have a loud voice, so I think people can hear like, what the fuck is he talking about? Anyways, let's move on. I wanted to read this. This is from someone, a friend of mine on Facebook, and I think she probably found me through this channel. So I'm not. Facebook is a little bit more of a different kind of, I guess, ecosystem than other social medias. So I don't really want to reveal her name or anything, but so, you know, I hope she's not mad that I'm reading this. I just thought this was a really cool post. And the post goes, I hate Earth Day. It gives me the same feeling as watching recent videos of Biden and Obama and other establishment Dems and so-called liberal pundits publicly praise and thank Bernie Sanders for all that he has contributed to the conversation, quote unquote, when really they fucking hate his guts and did everything in their power to make sure he got nowhere near any real position of control. It's all talk. It's all a show. It's all a big stew of pander and placation and patronization and gaslighting masked as a patting on the back that is spoon-fed to us by the dominant culture hell-bent on making sure this model of raping the earth for profit continues unchecked. We do the same on Earth Day. We talk shit up, but then just continue to shit on the earth. Actually, literally shitting on the earth like all the other animals do would be a good thing. Actually, wait, no, it wouldn't, because most human shit is chock full of chemicals and prescription drugs and a whole slew of toxins. But this Earth Day is different. It's the first Earth Day where industrial civilization's relentless, rapacious onslaughts against the natural world are not at full throttle for a change. While the virus is making it hard for some people to breathe, nature is finally getting a chance to catch her breath a little, for now anyways. How very nice it would be if the reason for this much-needed respite was due to a mass global awakening, a conscious reckoning of our ecological sins instead of just an inadvertent side effect from government-mandated shutdowns to control a virus. Based on the recent protests against the shutdowns, I think it's fair to say that if the government ever tried to shut down anything for the sake of saving what's left of nature, we would see even more militant protests. But if we keep living out of balance with nature, it will only lead to more and more viruses. And she leaves a link of something. Maybe I'll find that link and put it in the description box. We are living on the brink of great, great loss. We all know this on some level, but for many of us, we are still delighted by how nice and warm the weather is in February. Indeed. It's going to be 90 degrees here this week, guys. Maybe that's not weird for April, but 90 degrees is actually more in line with like July or August in Los Angeles, not necessarily April, but it's going to be hot as hell. And yeah, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Today I left my quarantine location. So this person has actually been suffering from COVID, and she's been documenting some of it on Facebook and very interesting posts. But anyways, today I left my quarantine location for the first time in over a month to seek medical attention because I just wasn't getting better from the virus. I went to an urgent care and was diagnosed with bronchitis, not pneumonia, for which some people, that is what the virus can progress into. I was prescribed an antibiotic. By the way, just like scientists have been warning that we are going to see more and more viral pandemics, they also warn that antibiotic resistance is coming as well. But as I was out in the real world, quote unquote, on this Earth Day, I remembered that the song by the great Malvina Reynolds. I remembered this song by the great Malvina Reynolds. She is famous for her song Little Boxes, but she has so many other gems. She is such an underrated folk singer-songwriter. As we pause somewhat from this business as usual, the Earth is getting a chance to show us how beautiful she is, show us what we've been missing out on. As she lays dying, she gets a second wind, a last plea to our senses and to our aesthetics and to the soft animal of our bodies, as poet Mary Oliver says. Or maybe she's just taking this opportunity to say goodbye now that we've quieted down enough to hear her bird song, now that we've cleared the air enough to see her mountains again. Who doesn't love being told that they are beautiful? That is usually what Earth Day is all about, praising her beauty. But if appreciating her beauty does not inspire and motivate us to stop destroying her, then it's not coming from a place of love. It's mere objectification, pornography, possession. She is asking us to love her. Can you feel that? I can. I feel it in the personal longing I have to be loved intimately by a lover. The micro and macro really is one in the same, for we are part of the earth after all. Remember? We are wired for attachment, not separation. Our desire for attachment has been directed onto these destructive artificial systems we live by at the great expense of social distancing from one another and from our collective mother, our beautiful, beautiful mother. Everything is connected, and we are all connected, and we long to be connected. I'm just adding my own little addendum to that. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I am Sweet Leaf. Appreciate you. That was a great post. I really enjoyed that. I just was inspired to read that. I hope everybody enjoyed that as well. Kiro Hike says, collectively, society is that woman who has that boyfriend who cheats, but this time she is leaving for real. Then she never does. Yes, indeed. And we are really, really, really addicted to everything working the way that it does, the way that we're used to. We're addicted to the comfort of normalcy. And why not? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, humans long for stability. We are all wired, I think, to seek stability and balance and comfort. But we become so addicted to it, and so we inoculate ourselves against the idea that we should ever have discomfort or instability or imbalance. When all of that is a part of life, right? And so I think I saw in passing too on social media somewhere another article, maybe I'll dig it up, about we are about to experience what it's like to to not be comfortable anymore, or to not have normalcy anymore. And again, that is exactly where we are heading, whether it has to do with the pandemic or whether it has to do with climate change or both. That is our most likely, if not our near future, our inevitable future. Gwen Lee. Just saw a local video showing the 5G installations being installed now all over the city in Mexico where I live. Fun. Indeed fun. And I wonder, now is going to be a really good time to start paying attention or studying or doing studies or taking note of the effects of 5G with your own eyes, right? Because they're starting to install it everywhere. In the States, all over the planet. People are going to be bathed in this radiation and in this 5G output. And so, it's going to be a good time to start taking notice of how people are acting, how people are feeling. I don't know if there's any difference. Irk1 says comfort equals complacency. A level of discomfort is hugely positive. Indeed. This, I always think of the saying, iron sharpens iron. You're never getting stronger by being relaxed, or relaxation is necessary in life, definitely, and being relaxed is necessary for thinking through problems and situations and all that. But if you're always relaxed or always at ease or always comfortable, that is the beginning of the end. Because the longer that you are comfortable or at ease is you're moving farther and farther away from being able to adapt or react or consider a difficult situation, or the necessary actions in the face of one. Jacob Gordon says, we are in the U.S. are mostly appeased and complacent. Indeed, and I think we're especially in the States, we are especially addicted to this complacency. I mean, you see all over the planet how people are reacting to situations that they absolutely do not like. In France, in Chile, in Bolivia, in China, all over the world, people are saying, yeah, we're done with this. We're done with this corruption. We're done with this system. We're done with this situation. We're done with this paradigm. We cannot take this anymore. And for some reason in the U.S., there's a lot of that sentiment. There's a lot of people saying, hey, we don't like this. We have a problem with this. We're done with this. But I don't see a lot of people out there really putting themselves, there's a few. I'm not saying that it's not happening, but I'm saying it's very few and far between where we as Americans are out there putting our comfort or ourselves on the line in order to really protest or go against the prevailing paradigm. I mean, eventually we will, but right now I just don't see it. I think I see us being very, very slow to act and very, very timid. It's mostly on social media and mostly on YouTube, and hello, here we all are. Interesting quote from Jimmy Dore. This is from a few weeks ago. When he was screaming about Bernie Sanders, and he was like cussing his way through all his videos. And he's like, he's constantly talking about people getting the yellow vests, or people getting out in the streets, or people, creating movements to really combat this corruption. And he's like, and he stopped himself and he was like, I see what happens to people who really have power, the power to motivate people, and into changing things for the better, and he was right on the money. He was over the target. What happens is Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and JFK and RFK and, who was the Minnesota senator who died in a plane crash in the early 90s? I'm forgetting his name. But he was very progressive, very lefty. He was up and coming, and they were like, everybody was started to talk about, this is the guy that's going to lead like the left movement. And then he dies in this plane crash, which was super mysterious. Hey, I'm not saying that he was killed. I'm just saying, was he killed? I don't know. Nobody knows. I am Sweetleaf. Yes, a lot of talk and no fucking vests. Indeed, solidarity. I mean, eventually somebody's going to do it. Eventually somebody's going to step over that line. Eventually, and somebody's going to lead the way, and all of a sudden the dam is going to break, and everybody's going to be like, fuck yeah, all right, here we go. Kiro Hikes, my son is named after Malcolm X. Awesome. Jacob Gordon, a lot of people cannot fathom these living arrangements possibly going away. Indeed, they just can't, it's like, and it's the reason why I think a lot of people, that graph that I continue to show over and over again about how much Democrats, trust the media. It's because they're scared. It's because they're absolutely panicked that their comfortable living arrangements, their scraps that they fought so hard for, probably over years of their lives, are possibly going to be taken away, are possibly going to go away, or possibly, the realization that they are just scraps. The idea that all of that can go away, or that Paul Wellstone, thank you, Ronald 3, thank you. Yeah, Paul Wellstone. Yes, from Minnesota. So, yeah, the idea that all of that can go away, or that if you speak up against the system, that it might be taken away, right? People are terrified of that. And rightly so, right? Because we have this ever encroaching web of surveillance going on around us. We just saw the Amazon worker who was organizing a strike fired. Whole Foods, owned by Amazon, is creating this tracking system, this heat map, identifying people who are organizing unions. They're targeting people and creating, technological surveillance systems around, identifying trouble spots and seeking out, rabble rousers and antagonists and rooting it out before it ever becomes a problem. They are, the elite are terrified. And yet we are more terrified to actually take action at the moment. David Cardell says, do you know what destroys late model fuel powered cars? Sitting idle for a few months. Many things seize up. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I used to drive hundreds and hundreds of miles a week until a month ago. Now my car sits for days. And all of a sudden it's kind of developing little tiny problems here and there, or little tiny like, hey, not feeling so good. Well, mine isn't even a late model fuel powered car. Mine is a recent hybrid car. It's just sitting. I don't care. I mean, it's my car, and I want it to keep running, I guess. Much happier not driving it, though. Much happier. Right, yeah, Dev Van Poolen. Paul Wellstone was an amazing man, the only one in Congress opposing the spraying of the farmers in Colombia in the name of stopping the drugs trade. Yeah, they were terrified of Paul Wellstone. Paul Wellstone was, he was pretty lefty. He was, and it was during a time when, right, the whole blue dog Democrat thing was coming into fashion, right? Bill Clinton had started the Democrats down the road of becoming this corporate party. And Paul Wellstone was like, I'm going to, hold on a second. I'm going to go lefty on you. And he was very popular. And they did see him as a threat. So I'm going to get into one more story before I go. Kuro Hikes. Whole Foods tried to punish workers for participating in May Day protest. Me and some of my anarcho friends busted out the windows and spray painted the whole front of the building. Libs called the cops. Wow, Kuro, good job. Good job. I'm not advocating destruction of property. I just want to say that. But somebody got out there and went for it. Good on you, Kuro. I am Sweetleaf. Clintons suck. So yes, they do. They not only suck, they're, one of the heads of an incredibly disgusting, corrupt beast. So check this out. I wanted to cover this other story. This is from Twitter. My original title for this video was Ice Cream Gate. But I imagine that there will be, and it's starting to be talked about right now, a new thing called Ice Cream Gate. So, that people have been pissed off about Nancy Pelosi showing off her freezer full of ice cream. Her very expensive refrigerator. She has two of them. So, they did a little, interview with her, and she was like, oh, I made ice cream, and, we love chocolate, and we're going to have to order some more ice cream. And literally, they're all on break, and people are starving and lining up for food. And people are worried about paying their rent, and people are absolutely terrified and frightened. And Nancy Pelosi is talking about how she's quarantining with her $12,000 refrigerators and a bunch of her stock of ice cream. So check this out. I saw this on Twitter, and this is wild. I just saw this morning. This is crazy. Say what you want about Hillary Clinton, at least she actually wanted to win. So, I don't know about the title of this, or I don't know about that, the statement about this. Apparently, this woman is remarking on the idea that Joe Biden is spending so much money on ice cream. This is from a federal website. This is the FEC. You have to disclose where your money is going in a presidential campaign. So Joe Biden has this is all the same, all of these donations, or they spent a lot of money, at this place called Jenny's, what is it called? Some Jenny's ice cream business or whatever. It's only one of 30 of 133 entries, but it's, it's a lot of ice cream, and it's like $70 every time. It's like the same amount every single time. So this woman who posted this says, yes, I looked for Warren and Harris, and neither of them did this with this company. When I tried to look for Pete's, I just got a 404, so that was weird. So she tried to look for Pete's campaign expenditures, and she couldn't find the site. But interesting comments below. This is the same brand of ice cream Pelosi was eating. What the fuck? So apparently, these people like this particular one brand of ice cream, and it seems to be very expensive. They're spending a lot of money on it. Looks like a money laundering scheme, says someone. I don't think this is true. Ice cream, 3.6 million. You're not spending enough on ice cream. Some more comments. Interesting comment right down at the bottom. I guess that means that Jenny's ice cream is a front for an international pedophile ring. Whoop. Okay. So what's crazy about this? So yeah, the crazy part is it's the same company that Pelosi is ordering ice cream from. It's crazy that somebody's eating that much ice cream. It's crazy that ice cream seems to be something that Joe Biden's campaign seemed to talk about a lot. It makes me think of Pizzagate. It does conjure up, there was this whole, if you actually followed Pizzagate on any level, no, it's not a fucking, you're going to start talking about Q now? No, it's not that. It's actually, Pizzagate is very real. I've said that before. It's extremely real. If you, very quickly, if you believe that Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile, and then he knew very, very powerful people, and they all flew on his planes, and they all went to his private island. If you believe all of that stuff, then, why is it such a stretch to believe in Pizzagate? Just because it's coming from, supposedly different people, which is actually not true at all. Like, not everybody who covered Pizzagate or believes in Pizzagate are all like right-wingers. That's not true. I'm just saying, it's very interesting. I'm not saying this means that it's any way connected to pedophiles. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying it's just very weird that Biden has so many contributions to the same, or same expenditures to the same company that Pelosi does, and his campaign was like ice cream, ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. It was the same kind of imaging that was going on around Pizzagate. If you followed that at all, if you know what I'm talking about at all, I'll just leave that there. But this is the crazy thing was I saw this morning, and literally 5 minutes later, a woman on the television was saying, let's not talk about Pelosi's ice cream. I mean, who cares about this ice cream company? Why are we talking about ice cream anyways? Pay no attention to the ice cream. Let's not, that's what that was. Let's not talk about the ice cream anymore, guys. That's what that was. And I was like, wow, this is crazy that they're going to start over the next few days. I'm just saying, over the next few days, you're going to start hearing about this shit. You're going to start seeing a lot of people talking about ice cream, Jenny's ice cream gate. You're going to start seeing like people in the mainstream media start saying like, well, this is ridiculous. Why are we talking about ice cream? That's just my guess. Anyways. I just wanted to bring that up because it's just an interesting thing. Does that mean that does it mean it's a money laundering scheme? I don't know, but it seems awful odd that the same powerful people seem to be spending a lot of money on ice cream. I'm not saying it is a money laundering scheme. Is it connected to anything else? I don't know. But I'm just saying this is very odd. Keep your eyes on this. Just get ready. Just get ready to hear a lot about ice cream. No representation says, why not tell people what Pizzagate is? I'll tell you. So actually, thank you for asking, no representation. Very quickly though, it's interesting that Julian Assange is in jail right now and is going to remain in jail until at least after this election cycle. You can bet your money on that Julian Assange will not be released. He probably won't even be transferred or, nothing is going to happen, but he's going to remain in jail till after the election cycle is over. And so, it's very convenient that he's in jail right now because I know that they're still releasing things, but are they really, he can't, they're not going to release anything on the level of the emails that came out before the 2016 election. But Pizzagate actually started from Julian Assange's emails. In Julian Assange's emails, in some of the emails dealing with, God dang it, I can't remember his name right now. With her campaign coordinator, why can't I remember his name? I'm totally like brain freezing. Podesta, thank you, John Podesta. So in his emails, in John Podesta's emails, there was this weird fucking language. His emails had some kind of code language. And so people started going like, what is this? What is going on? They started looking through this code language. They started realizing that on the FBI site, there is code language listed around pedophilia, people that use certain code language. This was the same language that was in these emails. They're like, oh my God, this is language that pedophiles use as code language. This is from, so, all that talk on the mainstream media about, they were fake and these emails were from Russia and this was, all part of the Trump campaign. And oh my God, this is, you're not supposed to read these emails. Bullshit. They were trying to get you not to look at those emails and think about this story. Then they found more evidence, somehow that was linked to Jimmy Comet of Comet Pizza. It all became Pizzagate because it was linked to this pizza shop in DC. Which, look, if you want to go, I'm not going to get too far into the weeds with this, but there's plenty of information out there if you look for it. So there was, they dug up, Jimmy Comet from Comet Pizza had an Instagram page which had very, very disturbing pictures on it. And everybody was screenshotting this page, and they were like, what the hell is going on? And then right after that, he made his page private. He went undercover, blah, blah, blah. All the stuff happened around it. Anyways, basically, Pizzagate is the idea that they're, the rich and powerful, especially the Clintons, and lots of the people in the Democratic Party, and yes, Biden and Obama, yes, all those people are connected to this guy who supposedly is part of some pedophilia and had a pizza shop in DC. You can look it up. It's not like, it's not super hidden. It's just that if you start talking about it, people lose their minds. Their minds explode. Oh my God, you're a conspiracy. Oh my God, oh Q, and oh, where we go. Oh my God, oh, how could you talk about this? But how could you not actually look into this? And on top of that, people that were looking into this, like mainstream journalists that were looking into this, were fired. There were a few. What's his name? Can't think of his name. Ben Johnson was fired. I think that's his last name. I may have gotten it wrong. A few other people, that were looking into this thing were fired, were let go, were silenced, right? And now all the stuff is coming out around Epstein, and everybody's like, what the fuck, right? But, it's all the same people, all of it. The Epstein people, the Epstein thing and the Pizzagate thing, it's all the same people, okay? So get it out of your mind that it's an alt-right thing or a right-wing thing or a Trumper thing or a Q thing. It's not. It's all the same people. It's all the same story. And once you can allow your brain to think about that or actually look into it, then you will realize that this shit is fucking real and this shit is fucking disgusting. And again, what are you going to do about it? How are we going to stop this? So whatever. I'm not saying that this ice cream thing is connected to this at all. I'm just saying it's very interesting that the same powerful people are buying the same ice cream and they're spending a whole lot of money on it. Who knows? Who knows what it means? I am Sweet Leaf. It is a money thing. I'm not connecting this ice cream thing with any kind of Epstein thing or any kind of Pizzagate thing. I'm just saying the imaging around it and the story around it is about to get big, and it's going to be very interesting what it all means. Anyways, I just went into the weeds there. Hope you all enjoyed that. And it's just another signal or another symbol, if you will, or signal that, we live in a very sick world and there's some very, very sick people that run the whole show. Levi James says there are no indigenous voices in anarchist politics because it was all co-opted by white leftists. Is that I don't disagree with you. Anthony Davis, Pizzagate is a sad thing if it were real. It's fucking real. So it is a sad thing. It's not only sad, it's infuriating. It's infuriating. But just go down the hole. I'm just saying, go down the hole. If you go down the hole and you think it's fake, I don't know, again, it's like, oh, you don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe it because you don't want to see it. Kuro Hike's not totally true. Dude, it's totally. Assange doesn't have any more bullets left in that chamber. All right. Well, if he were free to look for the bullets, he might. Basil, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. The lockdown is allowing people to distill what it means to be human, not just a commodity that produces capital for our rulers, indeed. Yeah, it's just, it's one of those things that you should look at. And here's the thing. A few, kind of mainstream journalists or more mainstream journalists looked at it and they said, hey, there's something here. Why isn't the FBI investigating this? And that's really the bottom line. Like, look, even if there's smoke, right? If there's smoke, there's fire. But if there's smoke, why isn't somebody going, this looks awful strange. Why aren't we having an investigation into this? Why aren't we looking at this? Instead of running articles all day going like, this is totally false. This is just false. This is just a conspiracy. That's the messaging from the mainstream media is, we're going to tell you what to think about this immediately. We're not going like, is this real? Like, look at all these, look at all these pieces of evidence. Could this be something? Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. I literally smelled smoke. I was just talking about where there's smoke, there's fire. I literally smelled smoke and I was like, what the hell? I had to go check it out. So anyways, guys, yeah, we went off into the weeds. I'm not, I'm saying do your own investigation, but if you don't do the investigation, then you don't have anything to say about it. Kuro Hikes, it's not even a question. Yes. Maybe you were talking about something else. Judy Truitt, because the FBI was involved with it. Indeed, that's what I'm saying. Because they're covering, they're not investigating, they're covering. Right. So, and everybody, look, it's not even really that wild of a theory now, because literally everybody thinks that Epstein was killed. Nobody thinks that Epstein killed himself. Nobody. Like, not one. I don't know one person who's like, oh, he totally killed himself with a paper shirt. Like, nobody believes that shit. So, look, everybody believes that Epstein was connected to some very powerful people, that there was very weird stuff going on. It's really not that big of a stretch. So, look, if you believe that much, if you're into it, on that level, then just walk down the road a little farther. Like, all you got to do is walk down the road. What you find won't be very, it's not going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel like shit. Deb Van Poolen, how do we confront our addiction to technology when it's so fun to listen to you? Where can we find community conversations like this? It's a weird world. I agree with you, Deb. And I have conversations like this with some of my friends. I just don't see I don't see my friends as, on a daily basis. Everybody's busy working a job or raising kids or, what's crazy is my friends all live right down the street. But it's somehow we can all get together and, we have conversations on Facebook, but it's not like this. We don't have the conversations that we have when we're together on Facebook because everybody's, trying to keep everything nice and complacent. Anyways, yes, Judy Truitt. Remember Omaha and Boys Town? Indeed. There's another one to look into. Larry King and Boys Town and Omaha. Yep. Anyways, guys, I have reached the end of my time. Info addict. Kevin, you're ruining people's dream. Indeed. Don't worry. Be Doomy. Osama, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, people are busy. People have lives. People are, Rich Diana, the investigation showed Epstein couldn't have killed himself, and then the national consciousness moved on. Yeah, right. And that's, the problem, too, is that the news cycle keeps people like, whoa, 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 whoa. Nobody can concentrate on something and go like this right here. We need to stay with this one. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, Tori Pergers, how you doing? Good evening from beautiful sunset in Denmark. I'm glad you're enjoying that. Exactly. The dude, right? You're right on that. Owl Nation, yeah. All right, guys. Have a good day. Enjoy your afternoon, evening, whatever time it is, probably morning somewhere. Scott Andrews, indeed. Musicians have short attention spans. Guilty as charged. Tory Perkers, I have not seen it yet. I'm about to go watch it. I'm going to go watch it right now. All right, guys. Have a good day. Until tomorrow. Tomorrow, same bat time, 11 a.m. Peace out.